So what's on the horizon? What's going on?
Well, I get to be the guest speaker, first time ever, for the Lancaster Roseman Chamber. And I'm looking forward to a great lunch, and I'm going to have a very positive talk about the Antelope Valley.
Excellent. So give us some insights real quick about this.
Well, you're going to hear today something that you probably haven't ever heard. All the cooperative efforts.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, I know it.
Wait, is this what I've been talking about for months?
It could be, but I've actually compiled a list.
Okay.
And you know what? It's pretty impressive. Kind of pops the bubble, because the perception is there's no cooperation. But I'm here to say there's a ton of cooperation.
Can you tell the residents of the Antelope Valley about this summer what's going on?
Oh, this summer we're going to still have our concert series like we do every year. We'll still have our Thursday night at the Squares. We're still going to have our water park Friday night swims, and just, you know, it's not the same world as it was 5 years ago, but it's still pretty darn good. And we plan on having plenty of offerings for families and take advantage of these great summer evenings.
Okay, great. Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Jim.
As mayor of the city of Palmdale for 20 years, before that he served on the Palmdale Planning Commission, and he also at one time was a small business owner like a lot of us. Jim is known all over the valley. One of the great attributes of Jim is he's very approachable. He'll talk to you. He shows up at our parades. He's a great friend of our chamber, and he's a great friend of our business community. And this is a exceptional, remarkable year for the city of Palmdale as they celebrate their 50th anniversary. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mayor Jim Ledford.
Thank you, Jackie. Larry, would you mind standing up again? We want to model that shirt off.
Please. Say please.
Please. There you go. Looking good. You know what? We're 50 and we're not shy about it. City of Palmdale is 50 years of as an incorporated city. It's a proud year. We're going to be celebrating it all year. We're kind of ramping it up as we go. I think our AmGym is going to be one of our real opportunities to focus. But we want to invite everybody to come participate in our 50-year anniversary. Today, everybody should have a pin, lapel pin. That I think, John, if you don't have one, raise your hand. John Miller will run over there to you. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be here today. You know, I can't remember ever addressing the Lancaster Roseman Chamber. Now, I may have. I mean, after 20 years, you kind of lose track of some things. But this is an opportunity, I think, for us to have a little discovery today. And I'm going to have, hopefully, some very interesting comments that we can all kind of appreciate collectively. And I also appreciate the parade. You guys do an awesome parade. I love parades. If there's a parade going on, I'm going to go to it just because I think it's a great slice of community. And the parade, I think, since it's moved to the boulevard, it really is a special application for a parade. I just think it's different and I like it a lot. And quite frankly, the boulevard itself, I think it's something that you should be proud of as a community. I think it's a great project. I like it a lot. So thank you for that. And in the Antelope Valley, when we look at our efforts as cities, jurisdictions, we all are doing what we think are the best for our constituents, our stakeholders. And it's great when we can put together complementary efforts that complement what others are doing. And it gives us, I think, a slice of something different than the same old, same old. So for that, again, the boulevard, very unique, and I think it's a great project, and it's perfect, I think, for the city of Lancaster today. So today, what I wanted to start off with, I was asked originally to come and talk about the power plant. Now, I could spend an hour on the power plant, but I don't think you really want me to do that. But I can give you some kind of status of where we're at today, so I will talk about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a discovery of all of the cooperative efforts, like Pauline East, who does our film commission. Do you realize she represents the whole Antelope Valley? Both Palmdale, Lancaster, and the county. Does an awesome job. Thank you for that. It's a great example of what's right about our valley. So I want to talk a little bit about what's right, because we don't talk about what's right. We talk about what's wrong. So today we're going to mark a new day and talk about what's right. Okay, our Palmdale hybrid power plant. Let's talk about this. 570 megawatt natural gas-fired power plant. It has 50 megawatts of solar energy generation. It's the first of its kind in the nation, ladies and gentlemen, and it's required to limit greenhouse gas emissions. So that's really its claim to fame, and it's very unique for that reason. The California Energy Commission approved the Palmdale Hybrid Power Plant project in August of 2011. And this is, bar none, the most scrutinized project in the history of the Antelope Valley. This thing has been looked at forwards, backwards, upside down, any way you want to shake it, it's been looked at. So, the EPA's regional administrator for the Pacific Southwest region, Jared Blumfield, says, Palmdale's use of solar technology is a model for new electric power plants across the nation. Its hybrid design proves that plants can provide energy while having less impact on the environment. So this is cutting edge stuff. March of 2012, the Palmdale Hybrid Power Plant wins the Project Merit Award from the Climate Change Business Journal as a major climate change adaptation and framework project. So this is a paradigm shift that's taken place in gas-fired power plants. Not only is the efficiency very high, and ours particularly is a 3-stage process, very unique, but the application of solar technology for peak use, for instance, high noon when the sun's at its brightest is when we start experiencing brownouts. We're going to be relying on solar to try to mitigate that lapse of power. So the solar is going to complement this very nicely. So we're very, very excited about the power plant efforts to date. Where are we today? Today we are actually engaged in discussing our power plant with potential capital partners. It's going to require one. This is a $1 billion project, ladies and gentlemen, and something the city doesn't quite have $1 billion on hand to be able to do it ourselves. And quite frankly, I think the plan for us all along is to get a permit for a power plant and then look to the private sector to partner with, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now, as part of that process, we're also looking at things like community choice aggregate. We want to see how our power plant can translate to benefit to you, the consumer. And if we can find a way to do that through a community choice aggregate, that is exactly what we're going to do. So this is something we would like to try to flush out prior to finding our capital partner. Because once you find the capital partner, they're going to lock in the conditions, what they are today. So our task is to now get benefit extended to industry and individuals. Part of our challenge here in the Antelope Valley is be competitive in the manufacturing. Well, in America, there's not a lot of manufacturing going on. We are seeing somewhat of a resurgence, but the fact of the matter is, power is a big determinant that determines where projects go. Case in point, Dallas-Fort Worth. That's where they are manufacturing the Joint Strike Fighter. Their power consumption or cost per power is actually half, 50% of what we pay here in the Antelope Valley. So, if you're a small business, where do you think you're going to go? You're going to go where the power is cheaper. And that's really one of the challenges in California is power. Now, we're in a bad economy. We're not really, putting as many people to work as we hope to. And I submit when we do, this economy gets back on track, brownouts, blackouts are going to become more commonplace. And quite frankly, that's exactly why we built our